Hi, this session is about Introduction to Python Programming Language. In this session, we'll discuss some of the basic features of Python programming language as well as its basic constructs. Python is a dynamic, high-level, free, open source, and interpreted programming language. It supports object-oriented programming as well as procedural-oriented programming. We'll discuss these concepts one by one. Features of Python. Python is easy to code. The constructs or the syntax of the Python is so intuitive that it is very easy to learn as well as start coding in Python. Python is free and open source, so you can easily download the Python and start using it, as well as you can also contribute in the development of the Python. Python is object-oriented language. So Python strongly supports the concepts of classes and objects. Python also supports GUI programming. There are available various standard as well as third-party libraries to support GUI programming. Python is a high-level language. It means that you do not need to consider about the system architecture as well as the memory management while programming in Python. Python is extensible. So Python can include the C and C++ language code. Python is portable programming language. It means that code written on one platform can be used on another platform. So you can be coding over the Windows platform and execute the same code over, let's say, Mac OS operating system. Python is interpreted language. So it means that it executes the code line by line. It is different from other compiled languages like C or C++, in which the entire code is first converted into machine language and then the execution happens. Python has a large standard library. So it comes out of the box and support various features because of the large standard library. So its library supports, let's say, input output, GUI programming, reading or writing data files, and much more. Python is dynamically typed language. So it means the variables are not associated with any type during the compile time or when you are writing the code. Okay. Only during the execution, a variable is assigned a type. Okay. So Python is dynamically typed. So let's now discuss uh, some of the actual code in Python. Let me share the screen. So this is a Jupyter notebook that I have made to introduce you to some of the basic concepts of Python programming. So this notebook is a brief introduction and discusses some of the topics, very basic topics like say variables, data types, lists, tuples, and dictionaries. In the today's session, we'll be concerned more about variables and the string type. So let's begin. This is basically the first statement that we have written in the Python program. We are just printing one string on the standard output device. So here I have used the inbuilt function of the Python, which is print. This function prints anything which is passed to it as an argument. So here a string is being passed. So this string is actually gets printed. The string is welcome to this session on introduction to Python. Any string in Python is enclosed in single or double quotes, as we are seeing here. So here this string is being enclosed in single quotes. We have used double quotes inside the single quotes. That is something that we will discuss later. So let's try to execute it. This is for your information. This is a Jupyter notebook. So this includes both the markup text as well as the code segment. So markup text is like say HTML type of code which you can use to define to um, write something about the code, which is you can think as a part of documentation. And then we have the code segment, which is the actual code that you are going to write. So we will discuss how to install the Jupyter notebooks and use these notebooks in our session on installing Python. For now, we discuss these different features of the Python. So next come to variables. Variables can be thought as labels to which values can be assigned to. Now, the concept of variables in Python is different from what you have seen in or C or C++ or Java. In C or C++, a variable has an associated type, and only the values of that type can be assigned to that variable. In Python, the variable is just a label, and it can be assigned value of any type. This is big because any object, any data in the Python is considered to be an object. So, like you define in literal, maybe string literal or floating point literal, that is basically an object. So that object is basically labeled with the help of variables. We'll discuss more about it. So first consider this example. Here you are defining a variable myvar and assigning it the string hello Python world. So what basically we are doing is we are creating a string, and this string is basically assigned to this variable myvar. So myvar is the label that is basically used to refer to this string hello Python world. So in the next line, you use the print statement to print the value of this variable. So I use print myvar. So it is hello Python world gets printed. Similarly, you can use another variable, another value to assign to this variable. So here I have used this floating point variable floating point value 5.6. This floating point value is assigned to the same variable myvar, because myvar is just a label. So first I used it to label a string. Now I am using it to label a floating point value. So myvar is equal to 5.6 means 5.6 gets the label myvar. And then I use the print statement to print the value of this variable. Fine. Next, we discuss some of the strings, characteristics of the strings. Now, a string, as we know, is a sequence of characters, a series of characters, and we use single or double quotes to denote a string. So, Python supports both single as well as double quotes to designate a string. So here, like in this example, we have these two strings. This is a string which is enclosed in double quotes, and then we have this another string which is this is also a string enclosed in single quotes. So this flexibility basically allows you to use quotes as well as apostrophes within your strings. Like here in this example, so the first string is I told my friend Python is my favorite language. Here this string is enclosed in single quotes, and in this single quotes, this substring Python is my favorite language. To emphasize it, I am using it in double quotes. Similarly, in the second string, the language Python is named after Monty Python, not the snake. So this entire string is enclosed in double quotes. And since the string is inside double quotes, I can use single quotes to emphasize this word Python. Next, in the third example, I am using apostrophe s, one of Python's. So I do not use those creepy backslashes as we use in C or C++ to denote the apostrophes. I can very elegantly just use single apostrophe s, and the outer string I can use double quotes. So this is the elegance of Python. So now try to run this, print these strings, and you get the same output. So here it is. Then we have these uh, changing the case in strings. Now, another important thing about these strings is that the strings are immutable. So once you define these strings, you cannot change them. You cannot change the individual characters because these are immutable. We'll discuss more about this mutability in our session on data models. But for now, just consider these strings to be immutable, so you cannot change them. So whenever you apply, because these are objects, I told you, every literal basically is wrapped inside an object. So that object provides some functionality which you can use to manipulate the data inside the object. Now, here these functionality that this object provides here, title, upper and lower, these are the functions associated with an object of type string. Okay. So object has a type. This object has a type string. So therefore, these have associated functionality to convert the string into the title case, uppercase, or to lowercase. Okay. So if I use the title method, I am basically converting this string to title case. Okay. So title case means every first letter of every word is capitalized. Okay. So this title method is applied. Okay. Now this title method, when applied, it creates a new string in title case. It does not modify the original string. Okay. Similarly, I use this upper method. Upper method, when applied to a string, changes all letters to uppercase. Now, it does not change the original string. It basically creates a new string with all the letters capitalized. And similarly, the same with the lower function. Now, let's try to run this. So I use this variable name and assign it the string Ada Lovelace, and then name dot title. So when you want to apply an associated function to a variable, so we basically use this dot operator. This dot operator tells me that I want to use this functionality, this method title, over this variable name. So name dot title. So when I use it, it creates a new string in the title case. Okay. Similarly, name dot upper. So upper method is applied over the contents reference to by name variable. It creates a new string with all the letters in uppercase. And then as you see here, I print this name variable, contents of this name variable. So if you would see, the contents are unchanged because these are immutable. So the first output is in the title case, the second in the uppercase, and then the original string gets printed. Next, if you see here, I would like to discuss the concept of f strings. Now, f strings is a new concept in Python. It basically is used to insert the values of other variables in a string. Okay. So here, if you would see, I have these two variables, first name, which stores the first name of this variable, which stores this string Ada. Okay. And then last name. Last name is refers to a string Lovelace. Now these are all in small letters. I create a new variable full name. This name basically is a string, but here I am inside this string. I am referring to these variables first name and last name. Now the way to refer these variables inside another string is to enclose them in curly braces. Okay, so I have used curly braces, and inside it I write first name and the another variable last name also inside curly braces, and separate it with a single space character. Now to designate that it is an F string, I have to prefix this string with the letter F. So when I prefix this string with the letter F, it basically denotes to the Python that it's an F string. So it may have some variables whose value it has to replace. Okay. So this is basically the procedure. And then I define another F string, which is hello and then full name dot title. So the previous string is then converted into title case, and that basically would be replaced here. Okay. So these are the f strings in which a string can contain the values of another variable. Okay. So now when I print it, I get this message, hello, Ada Lovelace. Okay. Then coming to adding white spaces to strings with tabs and new lines. So like in C or C++, you have this \n and \t, which are used to insert white spaces as well as to insert tabs. Okay. So here it is, languages, colon, \n/t, Python, \n/t, C, \n/t, JavaScript. Okay, so you run this and you get this out. Then the next is about stripping the white spaces. Okay, extra white spaces can be confusing in your programs. Sometimes it commonly happens when you are uh, taking the input from the user. So when you take the input from the user may insert some white spaces before or after uh, the characters that it types. Okay. So to remove those extraneous white spaces, we have these functions, these defined over the strings, which are rstrip, lstrip, and strip. The rstrip method removes the white space at the right end of the string. So if there are any white space characters, so white space characters are those which may be space or tab or new lines. So if there are such of these any of these characters in the end of the string, or maybe in the, or you could say in the right hand side, so you can remove them with the help of rstrip function. Similarly, with the help of lstrip method, you remove the white space at the left end of the string. Okay. And the strip method removes the white space at both ends of the string. So here it is. If you see here, we have this variable lang, which is assigned a string Python, and this has a white space, or you can say space characters at both of its ends. Now, if you use this rstrip function, rstrip method, it removes the white space from the right hand side. Okay, so when I print it, these mm, extraneous white space characters are removed from the right hand side. And similarly, I use lstrip method to remove the white space characters from the left hand side. And then the simple strip method removes the white space from both the ends. So this is, and if you just print this variable again, lang, okay, so it is the same because the strings are immutable. Okay. So that is all for today's session. In the next session, we'll discuss about the numbers like integers and floating points. Okay. So that's all for today. Thank you everyone for watching.